Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome. I'm JJ Flazanes.
And I am Doug Sandler. And we are here. This is actually Valentine's Day.
It really is.
Wow. Unless, of course, you're listening to this 3 years from now, and it's still Valentine's Day if you've coincidentally clicked on February 14th. Is it always the 14th?
Always.
Every time? It's
Every
not like
time.
the third Thursday. Why the hell do they do that with like some holidays? It's like the third Monday of the month. I'm like, that's not good. I like it on a specific date. Like my birth date is the same day every year.
Well, you'll have to take it up with some people in the know. I'm not in the know and don't actually give a shit. So,
so I got to call.
Probably half the
I guess
people
I
that are
gotta call
listening don't care either.
Got to call Hallmark.
So today is the Valentine's episode, special Valentine's episode that I'm bringing on Mr. Doug Sandler to all of the shows.
Wow, I've never been on all of the shows before. I'm so excited.
You really have.
Oh, I have been?
You really have.
I got to start listening to podcasts. This is really good.
You should just start listening to mine. I listen to yours.
I know. Every time you listen to mine, I feel a little bit guilty.
And you should. And you should.
Hey, listen, we are starting on Valentine's Day really good, guilting me into shit.
That was a demonstration of guilt and shaming, which we don't normally do, but it's a joke, kind of.
And I accepted it as a joke. Thank you. Can we have a sidebar dialogue here for a moment?
On the air?
Yeah, I need to talk to you about how you hurt my feelings.
Oh, my God. He's just kidding. All right, let's get to the episode, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's do
Stop
it.
fucking around, Doug Sandler.
Wow. JJ, soon dropping the F-bomb. You would never hear that on my show, the Nice Guys on Business podcast.
You'd hear it all the time.
That's true.
So I did a show earlier this week because I really wanted to help everyone maybe consider another way of doing Valentine's Day. So hopefully you listen to that and you've been able to really kind of think about it and prepare, and maybe you're doing it just a little differently today than you normally do. But if you didn't, that's okay. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today with Doug, since you're listening to me most of the time, is sort of the man's take. So before we talk about some of the other things that I want to put on the table, I want to ask Doug to give us.
I have a comment. It's just more sex. That's all. That's all. If it's from a man's perspective, it's just more sex. That's all.
Well, like you want more sex, you expect more sex, you think what you'll do will get you more sex. How do you think about Valentine's Day?
I just told you.
All you said was more sex. You did not tell me a path to get there. You did not tell me
I know. That's a part of the whole problem is us guys. We just, listen, guys, if there are guys in the audience here and if they're in the community, I know. And I'm not one of those guys that's always thinking and wanting and having and doing sex. It's like, okay, but there is a certain time where, it's almost like you think that it's a given on Valentine's Day, right? It's the romantic holiday. So did we put that on the schedule?
No, but we can. Now, hold on. Actually, we need to because you're leaving the next day. So we're skipping our Saturday.
Tomorrow I'm leaving?
No. Yes, tomorrow you're leaving.
Oh, my God.
Tomorrow, the next day. So hold on. Back up a second. So you as a guy expect sex on Valentine's Day?
No, I don't expect. You know what? I've learned never to expect sex. And you know what? My expectations are never missed if I don't expect it.
Okay, well, let's back up because I talked about this on Tuesday's show about my opinion about what guys probably think and feel and vice versa with women. But I want to know from you, think back before your first marriage.
Right.
What did you think about Valentine's Day?
I think it's all a part of your upbringing. I think Valentine's Day was a card holiday, and that's all. It was just a holiday for cards, and it was cool. I mean, I got a card from my mom, and then if there was a girl in my life at the time, you're talking about before my first marriage. I mean, I got married at 24.
I know.
So if there was a girl in my life, it was always nice to get a card, and that was it. But I think that there is such a huge emphasis placed on things like you need to go out to dinner. I hated going out to dinner on Valentine's Day. Or buying flowers on Valentine's Day. It's like the most overpriced day of the year for doing anything romantic. Like, talk about fucking America just capitalizing on Valentine's Day. And overcharging for everything on
Please,
that day.
please listen to tomorrow's show. We're recording this on Monday, and the Tuesday episode hasn't come out yet. Will you please listen to Tuesday's
And I
show?
say I will. But I say this to you all the time. It's like I don't need a fucking calendar date to tell me when I'm going to celebrate my love for you.
No, I understand that, and you and every other guy probably feel very similar. Okay, and I'll leave it at that because you haven't heard Tuesday's show yet. But I do want to know your opinion. That's why I asked. So it'll be an
I'm telling
interesting
you, it's
conversation.
kind of like
Absolutely.
it's like every other holiday. Do I do it? Yes, I participate in the holiday because the lack of participating in the holiday would leave me in the doghouse. And to a degree, I look at it and think, shit, I do. And you can correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm happy to take the criticism or the critique or the constructive critique or criticism if you want. But I feel like my love for you shines 365 days of the year, Valentine's Day included. I feel like I am giving of my love to you. I understand your love language. I understand that words of affirmation and quality time and I understand acts of service, and I kind of know that what I need to do in order to I think qualify as someone that is in love with you and someone that shows my love for you. So it's like I'm not down on the holiday. I'm just like, why do I need the day to tell me that this is the day that I need to do it?
It's so fascinating because let's say there was a husband's day or a boyfriend day, and the day came around, and I was like, I don't know. It's like all this expectation. Like, wouldn't you? I'm not saying the Valentine's Day is for women, but wouldn't you be like, oh, great, like this is the day that I. No, you wouldn't.
No,
You'd
no.
absolutely ignore it.
I'm not like I'm going to ignore it. Listen,
You wouldn't get
there
all
is a
excited
day.
that
Hold
there
on,
was a day.
Let's look at it this way. There is a day like that. There is a Father's Day.
Right, but
Okay.
that's not husband and boyfriend day.
Well, hold on a second. Is Valentine's Day the husband's obligation to show his love for his wife that
No.
day?
No.
It's a lover's holiday.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's a day that both of us equally show our love for each other, and we take the opportunity to do that together, and it's a day that comes together on the calendar collectively so that we could say, today is the day that we're going to show especially our love for each other. Is that correct?
Yes, but the position you took prior to this was that I don't want to participate. It's a
I
Hallmark
didn't
holiday.
say I wasn't going to participate. I would just say this. Why does it have to be February 14th?
Well, why not?
What? Because the way I'm looking at it is, why can't you and I say, let's put a date on the calendar where you and I are going to express our love for each other, and it would be our Valentine's Day, but we're going to call it Flazane Sandler Day. Sandler Day, Flandler Day.
Okay, so, I talked about these different kinds of healings and people coming together at live events to actually do the work, going to therapy so you actually can feel your feelings. I'm going to say the same thing about relationships and love. Do you actually think, now you and I might do it, and you and I might not do it for a little while, but we haven't even been together 365 days yet, so we can't talk about what we've done for 20 years as proof. Do you really think the average person puts aside a day to say, this is the day we're going to really love each other and show each other?
Let me go back to something you just said. I'm not tired of you. I'm tired of the fucking holiday telling me when it's the time for me to show my love for you. It's as bad as someone saying to me, it's Valentine's Day. You must show your love this day, or if you don't, you're a fucking loser. And I'm saying, I don't believe that. What I believe is today is what day of the week? Thursday or whatever. Okay, so today is Thursday, Valentine's Day. But why can't I show my love for you yesterday, or when can I show my love for you? And I'm hoping that I do. I mean, I'm not bragging on myself, but how many flowers are in the house right now?
5 dozen.
5 dozen roses, right? 5 dozen roses are in this house because I said, and maybe if you're listening to this, you're going to say, what a fucking cheapskate he is. I didn't want to go out on Wednesday night when the flowers are 4 times more than they are right now. I said, fuck that. I'm going to buy them on Saturday, 6 days before Valentine's Day, for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I know you like flowers as much as anybody would like flowers. You love them. but you also love lasting flowers. And on Thursday, Valentine's Day, if I gave you those flowers, and you get pissed sometimes when I get you flowers on a day and then you go out of town
Oh
because
my
it's
God,
like
he
I can't.
spends money on these beautiful roses that come, and then we are leaving 2 days later. And when we're driving, it's not a problem. Michael Neely's house has had roses every time we are there. I have a travel vase that goes with us when we drive. It is lovely. I take the flowers with us. But when we get on a plane and I can't take the flowers with us, then my neighbor or a friend is now receiving these beautiful flowers that I can't enjoy because you buy them before we leave.
So had I bought you flowers on Valentine's Day, the flowers would have been in the house for exactly 5 days before you had to leave. And I'm like, no, she's not going to be happy with that. And I wasn't just going to buy you a couple flowers. I was going to buy you a lot of flowers because I thought that because it's fucking Valentine's Day, I need to show my love for you for some reason, extra amount. Not for you, but because society places this obligation upon me to show my love for you on February 14th.
Will you listen to the show tomorrow?
I absolutely will listen to the show tomorrow.
So what you're going to hear me talk about
Oh, shit. Okay.
is it's my favorite holiday.
I know. And I know what's your favorite holiday.
But it's not my favorite holiday because I expect you to jump through hoops. It's my favorite holiday because it's an opportunity to do something special for yourself or for your partner or to do the things that you don't expect from others. So had you not purchased flowers for me so far in advance, I'd be buying them for myself, and I wouldn't have held you accountable to buy them. Now, you probably wouldn't have liked that because you would have said, well, I'll get them for you. And I would have said, you don't have to. And you probably said, well, please let me get them for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the point is that, we started out today's show because you are the majority of most probably men and some women who resent this sort of expectation of having to show love. When I look at it as, why not love the holiday and enjoy doing it? Why not, like Christmas or any holiday you love, get excited about it?
It's just like the parent saying, "This is what you need to do because this is what is expected of you."
Nobody's over your okay. If in a relationship, yes, I will agree that maybe there is a spouse that does have an expectation of you that is not been agreed upon.
Hold on a second. I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to ask you this point blank. I know the answer already, and I know that I'm hoping that the community that is listening, our listeners, know the answer to this already. But the question is pretty simple. Do you feel my love for you?
Yes.
And you're not answering that under duress or out of obligation. You're not sharing that because we're actually have a microphone and we're recording this, right? You feel my love for you.
Yes.
Do you feel my love for you always?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a rare time that you don't feel my love for you?
When you're upset.
Okay, great. And how often do I get upset?
Not very much.
Not very often. So I look at this and say, I show my love for you on a regular basis, not out of obligation, but because I love you, and I love to show my love for you, and I love to do nice things for you, and I love to do shit like clean filters in the attic because it's the right thing for us to do for our relationship and for our health. And I love when you cook things, and I love to be able to come up behind you while you're doing dishes or I'm doing dishes or you're cooking, and I'm able to grab your body and just love up on you because I love you. What I don't love is somebody telling me when I need to show my love for you. And yes, I agree. It's a wonderful holiday. It's a wonderful holiday if there was no obligation for external influences to come in. If my obligation to you, and I don't consider it an obligation, but if my obligation to you was to express my love for you in a way that I want to and that you will receive, then that's great. If I could spend the entire day in bed with you, forget sex, if I could just spend the entire day in bed with you, staring at you, playing the appreciation game like we do every day pretty much, and doing things for each other that don't involve having to leave this house and letting society see because I'm buying you a meal or buying you overpriced flowers on the highest price day of the year for couples to go out. It's like, fuck that. Let me stay in bed with you all day and just stare into your eyes deeply and be your lover as I am. Why can't that be the case?
It can be. This is exactly why I recorded Tuesday's show, because there's such a need for, I think, all men and women to stop fucking rebelling against this holiday and embrace it. and not necessarily to do it for your partner, but to do it for yourself, to take an opportunity to do it for yourself because you want to express love to yourself. Do something fun. Like for you, it would be what you did
Oh
today.
my
Take
God, I
your
had the
car on a
best
drive.
day.
Take yourself to lunch. Go play with your car, fix it, clean it, whatever. Like take a motorcycle ride. Like that would be what I would recommend to a guy that wants to feel love and wants to feel Valentine's Day in a new way. Don't
I love myself every day. I do. I love myself. I do, and I show my love for myself all the time. That's why when things happen, like you want to buy me a gift or something like that, and I'm like, what? And you ask me, what do I want? I'm like, I don't fucking want anything. I buy myself all the shit that I want. And it's not just buy. I do all the stuff I wanted to. I went out today. I had lunch. It was like a beautiful day. It was 65 degrees and sunny in Los Angeles, and I took my convertible, 65 Mustang convertible, by the way. I took it into Hermosa Beach, and I put the top down before I left the house. I rode for about a half hour. I took pictures of my car. I went out to a nice cafe. I invited you. You were busy, and that was fine. But so I enjoyed today. I was just hanging out by myself, and I was loving up on myself today.
right. And sometimes people don't do that often enough.
Yeah.
And to me, Valentine's Day is the exact perfect day to schedule it to make sure you get it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you were super busy and maybe you were following up on clients and stuff and you didn't have the opportunity to do today what you did for today. But maybe looking ahead, you went, oh, Valentine's Day. That's a perfect day for me to
Hey, I
take
might do it
off.
again tomorrow. And the next day, and the next day.
And that's totally fine. But I think there are too many people who have an opportunity to celebrate a day and scoff at it because of this rebellion against this idea of a Hallmark holiday.
Let me ask you a question, though. If the day came and went, no card, no meal, no flowers, and just the time for each of us together, no agreement ahead of time that those were going to be the conditions, how would you feel?
Well, I would probably be sad that you didn't feel the same way I did about the holiday because I would never just do nothing.
I'm not saying doing nothing. I'm saying those things.
Well, if you and I had completely different opinions about it, I would be sad probably on the initial finding out that you don't really like this holiday, you don't like to buy cards, you don't really believe in buying flowers, you're going to rebel against it and just stubbornly focus on that we're going to do nothing to say F you to the industry or whatever, which is what a lot of you do, and it doesn't actually serve any of you. I know you think it does, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It just makes it worse in your relationship or in yourself because you're just denying joy.
The reason I am going to celebrate this holiday is because of the reason why I do a lot of things in my life with you. It's because I love you and I know how the holiday affects you and I know that you like it. So because you like it, and again, I'm sharing the inner thoughts so that our community can hear the thoughts that are going through my head. I do it not out of obligation to the holiday. And I don't even call it out of an obligation to you. I do it because of my love for you. Which I feel like, I mean, if you were to look around this house right now, how many cards have I given you in the last 6 months? How many flowers have I bought you in the last 6 months? How many love notes have I? I could walk into the kitchen and see 3 of them right there.
Right.
It's like, I know how I feel. You know how I feel about
right.
you.
And one has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah.
It's not about that you have to express a new, unique feeling amplified.
Well, you feel there is like that thing that goes off in my head that says I need to do a little bit more on this holiday than I would normally do.
Well, but that's the same for any damn holiday. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, whatever, birthdays. It's every holiday.
And I would say the same thing about those holidays.
Okay, but why not everyone just decide to let go of that and do it full on for the fucking fun of doing it full on? Why be like, well, this is just, it's not discounting every other day of the year. It's just an opportunity to celebrate,
because
to do
I'll tell
something
you,
special.
we have an opportunity to celebrate. It's called every other fucking day of the year.
I understand, but not everybody does that.
Okay, I understand, but I'm not everybody. You are not everybody. We handle things differently. I appreciate the holiday. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate the holiday because you love it. If you love it, then great. Then we're going to celebrate it. I'm just giving you the inner workings in my head again, so that as you're listening to this, you might be screaming at your speaker like, Doug, she fucking likes the holiday. I'm like, I know, but I'm telling you what's in my head, because this is the same thing that's in your man's head also, potentially. And understand that your man is not saying this to you as you're listening to this and thinking this. He's not wanting to do something nice for you. He's rebelling against the holiday, and it's out of obligation. And the fact that you are waiting for him to make you happy, fuck that. Do not wait for him to make you happy.
Right. That was really the bottom line of Tuesday's show, which you're going to listen to tomorrow, because it's actually really Monday.
Because how many women are out there listening,
absolutely.
or men
Right.
that are the other way with their significant other,
Absolutely.
saying, shit, I can't believe you worked the entire day, you came home, you bought me one fucking rose that you picked up at 7-Eleven. It's in that little tiny water thing, the one little water vase thing, that tiny thing. How many times have I stopped at 7-Eleven and bought 12 of those and put them into a dozen?
Really? Okay, to none. Right, and I agree, and that's again why I recorded Tuesday's show, and I want to encourage all the women out there and the men to do something for yourself and let everybody else off the hook. But also, at the same time, I'll say the same thing to you men. If your wife or spouse isn't pressuring you and she's more like me and she enjoys it, why not just take the opportunity to celebrate and have a good time? I look at it as a potential day off,
but wait,
as a new and unique day.
But you just said something earlier that it takes that man gene of mine and says, I don't fucking understand what you're saying.
What?
Because earlier I said, well, what would happen if there was no flowers, no meal, no card? You said I would be sad.
I'd be sad because if I didn't have you, I would have had a spa day. I would have had a massage. I would have gone dancing. I would have gone for a workout. I would have treated myself to some special something meal, whether I cooked it or I went out. I would have taken myself out to lunch. I would have done a lot of very special things by myself, enjoying every moment of it, or inviting other friends or gay friends or single friends or whomever. I would have decided that I wanted to do something with other people.
I feel like there is an obligation on the man in the relationship to show his love for. Okay, you're shaking your head no.
I said I'd be sad that you did not have the same excitement about the day with me, that we could do something together.
No, that's not right. I have excitement. We have a date that's planned for today, Thursday. We have a date that's planned for today. Right,
because I asked you and you said yes.
Of course.
But had I not planned this, had I not asked you for what I wanted and waited and had an expectation, and then the day comes and then we look at each other and go, hey, what do you want to do today?
That's never going to happen.
But that's what happens for a lot of people, because there's expectation on both ends. So instead of planning out and understanding what it is that you want and asking for it, so if you had said to me, you know what, I don't really believe in this holiday, I don't want to celebrate it, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. So then I'm going to go out and I'm going to do a bunch of stuff, and I probably won't be home, not because I'm trying to avoid you, but because I want to celebrate. I want to use today as an excuse to go to the spa all day.
But I don't want to take that and I don't want to crush your joy, and I want to be a part of your joy. If you're going to purposely be happy for a specific day, I want to purposely be happy with you.
Right. So then it really doesn't matter what the day of the week is or the number, or the holiday. It's just the fact that it's a holiday that is set aside like every other holiday as an opportunity to either celebrate something, have a meal with people, eat a certain food. It's no different. And most people aren't rebelling against Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and whatever other holiday, Easter. Most people are not rebelling against those holidays. I understand where the pressure comes in, which is why I recorded Tuesday's show specifically, which you're going to listen to tomorrow. So anyway, so we're pretty clear. I was pretty right on. And you still fall into that same category and I understand why. I totally get why. And I'm inviting everyone who's listening to keep that in mind. Hopefully listen to Tuesday's show, and it's not even going to be an issue. So
go back and listen to Tuesday's show, because it's Thursday.
Well, see, I thought about talking about these points with you. The problem is that if there's someone who does have a negative experience with Valentine's Day, it wouldn't have been enough time to actually have them think about and possibly do it differently. And that's why I recorded Tuesday's show. So let's talk about your worst holiday, your worst Valentine's Day. What is your
Oh
worst?
Lord, you think I can even remember my worst Valentine's Day? I have no idea. Let's see. Uh, I don't really know. I tend to be I tend to follow whatever my significant other at the time has as the gravity of the holiday. So if the gravity of the holiday, after being married for 20 years in my first marriage, was like, you know,
Yeah, what did you guys do?
it's another Valentine's Day. I mean, we would probably do something. We would always buy cards for each other. We would always. We didn't ignore. I never ignored the holiday. I never ignored it. I wish I could. I wish I could. Not because
You
I
can.
didn't want to share my love with even my first or my second wife. It's not that I wanted to ignore my spouse. I wanted to say, fuck this holiday. I want to do this on a Tuesday in January. I want to do this on a Wednesday in March. Yes, it does give me an opportunity to, with the rest of the world. The only positive of it is there's such a high vibration of the entire world celebrating their love that there's got to be a little bit of like, spillover from all of that love out there in the world to you. So I guess that's probably the only downside to not celebrating the holiday at the same time everybody else is, because it is a holiday of love, and it is
It's
a
an opportunity of a really high frequency that you want to deny just so that you want to tell Hallmark to go screw themselves?
No, because try to get into a restaurant in a crowded.
Right, but we're not
in a
having dinner
crowded-
out.
No, that's right.
Right.
I like what we're doing. We're going for a nice drive. We're going to go to a cool lunch by the ocean, I think, right?
Yep.
We are going to, what else we have planned?
Nothing on a timely basis,
Right?
but we're going to do brunch for dinner.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I just thought
like
of that today. That
Yeah,
was
that was
super.
good.
That was super
That
fun.
was good.
But I mean, I agree, and I even talked about the price of flowers being higher and getting them before or after Valentine's Day.
And I appreciate your sensitivity to that, knowing that money is one of those things that I tend to focus on a lot.
Yeah, I won't lie and say that sometimes I wish that you didn't, and just like, who gives a shit? I'll pay it because it's worth it, because it would make you happy, or
Maybe
whatever.
when I have an unlimited income, maybe
Okay,
that'll
well,
be the case.
I'm just saying it's the lack of scarcity, but that's a different story.
There's a couple of scarcities that go on. There is a scarcity of money, and I don't know if you want to call it a scarcity of the obligation. The obligation from I don't want you to ever feel obligated to have to share. Like, why is that the holiday that you have to have sex? I mean, like, I don't even know if I've had sex on a Valentine's Day. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I don't look at it and say, well, great, this is a day for me to get fucked. I mean, it's like, I don't care. If we have sex, great. If in the course of our day, if that's a day that we have sex, then that's a great day. If it's not, then it's not. But it's like, why is there this obligation to have sex, to share cards, to give flowers, why is there that obligation?
Babe, there's not an obligation. There's just a desire or a not desire. And I really would invite everyone to, if you're rebelling against it, you're kicking yourself in the foot, because like, embracing it is about saying yes to love, yes to feeling good.
I think that you're misaligned right now with your thinking. I think that by me saying no to the holiday does not shout no to you.
But why would you even, why, but why, it is because when you say, if you have a partner who really enjoys the holiday or even could enjoy the holiday, why would you, and you're such a positive person anyway.
I'm a hugely positive person.
Do you hear how your rebellion makes absolutely no sense? Like, nobody wins in it. Nobody feels good. Nobody. You might for half a second, but it doesn't get anything any further along.
Mm-hmm.
There's no harm in celebrating, is my point. I'm not telling you people to spend a lot of money. I'm not telling you to spend any money. But it's the idea of a day that says, yeah, if you love each other every day at 20%.
So can we say yes to Valentine's Day, no to capitalism?
Oh my God. You enjoy capitalism very much, so this is a whole separate conversation that you would argue on the other side if someone was giving you an argument. So this is only about
if there was a podcasting Valentine's Day, I'm be like, yeah, let's come up with podcaster Valentine's.
And if
Day.
I took a different position, you would find somehow the opposition just for the sake of
No, I don't think
rebellion.
so. I don't think so.
Okay.
And let me say this. You're right. I think you got through to me with something you just said, and I wanna retrace my steps for just a second. I think the point that you just made a moment ago, and I'm going to share it in a second, but the point that you made completely flipped my belief, and that is what by you being negative, nothing good comes out of it. And I agree with you. Nothing good comes out of it. But I never looked at it from that perspective. I was looking at it from a totally different way. I was looking at it from, well, I don't have to rehash why I was looking at it. But you saying to me just now, and this is the first time anybody has ever said it this way, but by you being negative about this holiday does not do anybody any good. What are you advancing by doing that? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, does that mean that I'm going to be able to just turn a switch and say, oh my God, this is the greatest holiday ever? No, it doesn't mean that.
You will when the day is over, because you will be with me, and I really like this holiday, and you will be infected by my excitement and enthusiasm about celebrating it, and you'll want to do it again and again.
Well, but you also, and again, as the community, as our witness here through this, how many times have I gone into something with maybe not the best of attitudes or not the highest vibration, but you've had a higher vibration, or the other way around? It's probably more me being a little bit more negative about something and you being very positive about it. But when we get involved, I discover how much fun it is, and I do it anyway, and we both have a great time.
So we're going to have to report back after the day is over to see how Doug did on his embracing and releasing any negative rebellion against this capitalistic Hallmark holiday.
I hear what you're saying,
Okay.
and I appreciate and respect the position that you have. I'm not excited about all of the stuff that's happened in the past, like with the holiday and my attitude about it. But I got to tell you, it's like I still have a great time. I mean, I just don't want. I just don't like the fact that there is so much emphasis. It's a societal pressure on the husband more so than the wife to make Valentine's Day a special day.
Agreed. But instead of rebelling against it, why not embrace it for a moment? And I'm not saying that means anything financial, but it could be a really fun opportunity to say, what the hell? I'm not going to win here. They're not changing it because I'm upset about it or because I don't like it or because I'm going to rebel against it. It's not going to change. So why not take it in stride and say, use it as leverage to do something special? And again, you'll hear the show. But
I'm looking forward to next President's Day. We're really going to celebrate President's
Awesome.
Day like a motherfucker.
Awesome. I invite it. Now, so this was good. This was a good little working out of different opposing views, even though I already knew probably what you were going to say, because you do represent the majority of what I think men and women and husbands and boyfriends feel, unless you're newly together. Hello, we're newly together. Because sometimes when you're newly together, you want to jump through the hoops to show the person that you love them. Now, you and I we're newly together, but not like so fresh. And we're a little seasoned. So you're bringing a little bit more baggage
We've been marinating for a few
right,
few
we're
decades.
a little bit more seasoned. So I think that there's, unfortunately, as you get older, probably the baggage that comes along with past situations.
Can we go back to just the moment for just a second? Can we just go back to Valentine's Day for just a moment and take the pressure off of the man for just a moment? And
Yeah.
what's the pressure from a perspective of the woman on sex for the holiday?
Well, as you and I have discovered, in terms of discussing needs and having, I guess, compromises or a plan of action, I am happy to
service you.
look. If No, it sounds too bad. What I was about
What?
to
Go
say.
ahead.
No,
Say
I'm
it.
like,
Just say it.
because I'm going to do it with or without you. I'm going to be happy with or without your attitude that day. And if you're having a bad attitude, I'm just going to leave you to the side. I'm going to move on, because I have no tolerance for bad attitudes on Valentine's Day. So
Wait a minute. I just had a good. I just have.
no,
I have a
I
good
know.
attitude
So
on Valentine's Day.
so I'm saying, therefore, if
I'm already begging for sex.
if we're playing if we're playing at a high level, it's going to be a natural flow into
Fucking,
wanting to
I'm
continue.
gonna be on Mars high level. So if that's all it takes, man, I am there. Good attitude, yes.
Valentine's Day, woo!
Yes, it's the fucking best holiday ever. Oh my god,
That's like a guarantee to get laid right there. Just so I let you know that.
it is. See, it's like, okay, gosh. So guys, so look, if you schedule sex, if you have to schedule sex and it's like Saturday and Wednesday, this is a Thursday edition of sex. You don't have to skip the Wednesday or the Saturday either. You get both of those, and this is just a bonus day.
Well, it's about love. It's about feeling love. Women are not as focused on the physical. I mean, some of you are, but for the majority, remember oven, blowtorch, like there's the whole warm up thing. And when you're wanting to be romantic and spend quality time and do acts of service and touch, that's all a warm up for, if you're sincere about it, it goes there. Okay. All right. So we've done a lot of conversation about this holiday, and hopefully you all will have a good experience of Valentine's Day, or you'll write in and get mad. Or not. But hopefully you listen to Tuesday's show and you're inspired.
I'm just curious, as you're listening to this, what's your opinion? I mean, chime in. I mean, I would love to know for our next Valentine's Day edition of Men, Women, and Relationships, Spirit, Purpose, and Energy. What other shows? Every other show?
Fit to Love.
Fit to Love. Holy shit, a whole bunch.
Nutrition, alternative medicine.
Wow, a lot of shit. Okay. I'm curious. What's your take on it? What's your spin on Valentine's Day in your house? What's it all about? Is it an important holiday? Do you feel like I did at the beginning of this episode? Do you feel like JJ did? Do you feel like there's an obligation? Is it a man's holiday to please his woman? Is it a woman's holiday to please her man? What is it? I'm curious.
Okay, good. You can write that to Doug, and you can do 4242 DJ Doug. I don't want to hear 20 million of you telling me that you feel the exact same way. Here's what I want to hear. I want to hear those of you that did it differently.
Okay.
I want to hear those of you that listened to Tuesday's show or heard my last Valentine's Day show last year or the year before.
And simply got out the vibrator and had a great time because
Nothing wrong with the vibrator.
You were pleasing yourself.
But I want to hear those of you that have the non-normal point of view. That's what I want to hear because, I think you represent a majority of men, and I'm tired of hearing that point of view, and I'm tired of hearing about the women expecting your man to do something and you don't do anything. So it's the same. It's, I'd love, you guys would probably feel so much freer and more willing to do something if your woman didn't expect it from you. So it's taking the pressure off of you and them really not expecting it. So that's part of it. So yes, you can write to us. Just, I don't want to hear it. Please don't write me a 20-page email about like how you don't like it.
Wow. Because
I don't want to hear it.
A lot
I don't want to hear it.
Multi-page emails recently from women not happy with their man or women not
No,
happy
I don't
with
mind
their...
the relationship conversation.
God.
I don't want to hear about the negative Valentine's Day conversation because I like it. So if all I want to hear is that you've learned something, you tried something new. You don't have to love it, but maybe if you're open, that's what I want to hear.
Okay.
Now, speaking of being open, speaking of
that whole
having
page of notes you got there.
Well, you know what what this is? So after Imago weekend, during Imago weekend, and next week's show will be actually our recent conversation with Harville and Helen after we went to the workshop. One of the things that we came up with was doing our own retreats. And we've talked about this one time before. And, we talked about Doug doing some other extra work and about what we would do and how we would use this Imago work in a couple's retreat.
Cool.
And I'm happy to report that we have actually outlined it.
Yes.
And we've got some dates.
And when we say we outlined it, we mean JJ outlined it. And I agreed.
So at this point, we will be doing a couples retreat for New Year's Eve.
Woohoo!
And it looks like it's going to be December 29th. What the hell? That's like depressing.
What do you mean? It's Auld Lang Syne.
I know, but it sounds depressing. When I
Okay.
hear that song, it reminds me of Sex in the City when Carrie and Big weren't together anymore and she was by herself.
Oh my
So
God.
so that's not happy music for me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
December.
Thanks, JJ. Whatever.
Okay. So we are at this point, we're going to be doing December 29th, which is a Sunday arrival, to January 2nd, which I believe is a Thursday. So it'll be 4 nights, 5 days, or maybe we'll be Sunday arrival like in the afternoon and then leaving after brunch on Thursday on the 2nd.
Oh my God, I've already filled out my application. I'm so in.
So we are not taking anybody, just anybody. You have to be pre-qualified.
Yes.
And we're only taking 5 couples.
Do I have votes on the pre-qualification?
Of course you do.
Excellent.
And just to give you a brief overview for those of you that might be interested, we're going to be working on different forgiveness practices, on communication,
JJ
on the
forgives
anatomy.
me.
JJ forgives you. On the anatomy of emotion, there'll be meditation, there'll be exercise, there'll be hiking,
Dance party.
there'll be imago work, both individually and together, and using the imago dialogue. There'll be astrology and love languages so that you can understand your partner on a whole new level and understand why they do what they do and have language and new ways to deal with it.
Gluten-free pancakes.
You will definitely have gluten-free, dairy-free food.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be fucking awesome.
You're going to have a dance class, and it's going to be couples partnering dance class because I believe that nonverbal communication in dancing is so powerful for both masculine and feminine energies. We're going to be doing some tantra exercises.
Yes.
There will be wine, not every night, but there will be wine.
Every night.
Not every night.
That's what I said.
There
Every
will
night.
there will be brunch, which will be super fun, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, a little dance party on New Year's Eve.
You've just picked every possible great thing about what you do and what I do, and we're putting it into this amazing New Year's Eve celebration. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this that are listening to this, but I've spent the last 30 years of my life as a DJ. And I'm going to be wickying it up.
Oh my gosh, he's very good too. But it's not if you're not a dancer, don't worry. It's going to be fun music, and you won't
I'm
have
not
to
a dancer either.
necessarily
We're gonna have a
dance.
great
You are a
time.
dancer. But anyway, so it's open to 5 couples. It's not, you have to kind of pre-qualify. We don't want people there who hate each other. If your marriage is literally on the last, you have to have 2 people who actually want to be together.
Yeah, if your marriage is on the ropes here, you need to talk to JJ ahead of time because first we got to get you into therapy, and then we'll get you to New Year's Eve. I got you.
If you don't, if you hate each other, and obviously this is not the right place for you to be, but if you want to connect on a deeper level, if you want to stop blaming each other, if you want to reconnect in a new and deeper way, you want to have a good time, and you want to take your relationship to the next level, that's who would qualify for this. Definitely not someone who's in despair, and if there's a lot of substance abuse and there's any kind of verbal and physical abuse, that does not qualify. So, I mean, I wouldn't think many of you are listening to my show, but you never know. So make sure. I'll have a form that people can fill out eventually. Not yet. I'm just letting you know. But you're welcome to email me in the meantime if you're interested, because again, there's only going to be 5 couples.
And guys, if you're listening to the show and your wife or significant other does not listen to the show, this is a sure thing. You will get laid if you get here.
So there you have it. We're excited. It will be taking place most likely in Ojai, California.
Such a great
There's a
place.
lot of great hiking and waterfalls and things where we can actually do some cleansing and releasing of the things that don't serve us, and awesome farmers market and organic food. Yes,
Will we be doing circle time?
of course.
Oh God, this is the best. This is the best.
Yeah.
If you're a sensitive guy or a sensitive woman that needs your sensitive guy to be with you, this is the place to be. This is going to be fun. I am so excited about this.
Well, I'm excited to also review when we left the Imago workshop, they gave us for free video tape. We mentioned this last week's show. They gave us video DVDs and said, "Hey, do your own retreats and use this work." And so I'm going to take the best of the best work and put it in this 4-night 4.5 day event where I'm pretty sure you're going to leave with a different relationship with your spouse, a deeper relationship, better understanding, more patience, more compassion, and a new way to communicate with each other, a new level of safety. I have to say that's probably one of the best things about our relationship that I'm really enjoying. For those of you that heard my show last week called "Break Yourself Open," I recorded that on, well, we had it on a Thursday, but only just a couple days ago did I sort of have a nightmare, and then I was aware of some sadness that I still had coming up, and I rolled into Doug and started crying, and it wasn't a pretty cry, and it wasn't a completely ugly cry, but it was somewhere in between, and it felt really nice to feel the safety and the you holding the space for me. It's
I
been a
love
long
you,
time.
baby. I want you to be able to open up with me and feel safe.
Well, we don't have yet that sort of rocky negative history, and I don't think we will, but I mean, we'll get to certain levels in our relationship that are more normal, and we're experiencing some of them now, but I think we have enough tools, experience, and desire at this point to sort of see what's coming and to start cutting it off at the pass, if you
When in
will.
doubt, buy a convertible.
Midlife crisis. No, I'm kidding. It's called Move to California.
That was years ago when
Yeah,
I
I
bought
know.
my motorcycle.
All right, so if you're interested in the retreat, if you're interested in being considered for the retreat, go to jenniflazanes.com and just fill out the contact form and let us know. And then when the survey and questionnaire is ready, I will send it to you. But my wish for all of you is that you can let go of any negativity and resistance, whether you're single, especially if you're single, and if you're in a relationship, and find a way to service your partner and yourself in a way that is meaningful to you and full of love and not resentment, not expectation, just love. Try to be as pure as you can on this day for no other reason than it feels good, and it's a good thing to do for yourself and everyone around you, including your kids, your friends, your clients, your classmates, your animals. Everyone loves to feel love, and it's the best vibration out there.
Except for a vibrator, and that feels good too. And then
Bump.
and then there's Thursday night, so I'm happy and excited for that. I just found out, everybody, that I'm getting laid on Thursday.
Okay. So no pressure for JJ, but I did say that. So I'm wishing everyone a wonderful, enjoyable, new and different way of celebrating this beautiful opportunity of a holiday called Valentine's Day. Have a great holiday.
Bye, everybody.